Right now in New York City, you can find the unlikely pairing of two Brooklyn icons, the Brooklyn Public Library, one of the largest library systems in the country, and hip-hop's elder statesman, Jay-Z. Special correspondent Christopher Booker reports on a timely exhibition as part of this year's 50th anniversary of the birth of hip-hop. It's part of our arts and culture series, Canvas.
Wrapped around the outside of the Brooklyn Public Library's Central Branch, rap lyrics from the last 25 years. Inside its grand lobby, the hands of the man who wrote them, Sean Jay-Z Carter. This hand gesture, in the shape of a diamond or rock, originally represented his Rockefeller record label. It's now synonymous with the rapper himself, says Desiree Perez, a longtime friend of Jay-Z's and CEO of his entertainment empire, Roc Nation.
Anywhere you go in the world, any concert ever Jay's been at or places that he goes and there's crowds, people know what that means.
Famed for his lyricism, Jay-Z is one of the world's best-selling artists, with over 140 million records sold. The first rapper to be inducted into the Songwriter Hall of Fame, he's ranked by both Rolling Stone and Billboard magazine as one of the 100 greatest artists of all time. Now he's commemorated in a sprawling 40,000 square foot exhibition in this library, which continues to serve patrons.
This isn't exactly a normal experience inside a library.
No, it's not.
But the free exhibition, curated by Roc Nation, is entirely consistent with the Brooklyn Public Library's mission, says its president, Linda Johnson.
This is a career that was built on the written word. Literacy is everything to us. Jay-Z is a very important Brooklynite, and we like to honor our own, and we're proud to be affiliated with him.
The project is called the Book of Hov. Hov is short for Jay-Hova, a nickname Jay-Z explained to NPR's Terry Gross back in 2010.
One time I was recording in the studio, and I wasn't right, and one of my friends was like, man, this is like, how are you doing that, man? God must really love you. It's like a religious experience, man. And then he was like, Jehovah. And then, you know, it started out as a joke, and then it just stuck.
This is all instruments, the whole thing, the accordion, the old Victrola.
Featuring thousands of pieces of memorabilia, as well as music and art, spread across 8 spaces, visitors can trace Jay-Z's journey. From his early days in a Brooklyn public housing complex, where he survived dealing drugs during the crack cocaine epidemic, to the world stage.
We're telling a story about people who don't necessarily think their stories will be found. And we're saying, come into the library and find your own story, whether it's in the exhibition that you're walking through or whether it's in the books on our shelves.
01, 02, 03.
In the library's main atrium, covers of Jay-Z's 13 solo albums, from his self-released debut, Reasonable Doubt, to his most recent, 444.
From standing on the corners popping to driving some of the hottest cars New Yorkers ever seen.
Collectively, the work is an anthology of Jay-Z's life before and after superstardom.
He says that he's speaking for the people. Right. He speaks for the ghetto, for the voiceless.
Through a side door,
this is the real equipment, by the way, that was used at the time.
There's a full-scale replica of Manhattan's Baseline Studios, where Jay-Z wrote and recorded some of his seminal albums. The space was made famous in his 2004 documentary, Fade to Black.
Sometimes you work with people because they legends, other times they just hot.
But as hip-hop's first billionaire, the exhibition shows how Jay-Z's story is about more than music. After being rejected by all the major music labels, Jay-Z founded Rockefeller Records. And as his music footprint expanded, so too did his business empire.
Jay-Z is both an artist and an entrepreneur, a business person, and a writer. But he seems to basically walk this unbelievable line.
I think that his career defies those kinds of definitions, as does the experience that you have here.
The elaborate exhibition started with a phone call. Johnson wanted to commemorate the 50th anniversary of hip-hop by honoring Jay-Z at a Brooklyn Public Library gala and called Perez.
I started yammering away about, you know, all the reasons that the library was deserving. We're the most democratic institution in our society. We're free and open and accessible to everybody, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Desiree says, how many square feet is that building? And I said 350,000 square feet. And all of a sudden, the whole nature of the conversation changed.
Perez had spent years looking at different venues to showcase Jay-Z's vast collection of ephemera.
Nothing ever felt right. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel like it belonged. And when I heard Linda speak, it just seemed like the perfect place that she was describing. And it's a public space, and it lends itself to everyone.
On the day we visited, visitors praised the space. Ronald Fields was in town from Atlanta and came straight from the airport.
When I Googled it, I had to double take, and I'm like, well, is that a library? So I didn't know that, but it's really cool that it's here, actually. I wish we had something like this back at home.
Cool. Thomas Sorger has listened to the rapper for 20 years.
I think the library is the premier institution for making accessible the finest examples of our country's culture.
Has the library ever done anything of this scale?
No, not even close. Our door count has tripled. Our new library card registrations have doubled. So everything has just been magnified.
A limited edition line of Jay-Z library cards released at branches across the borough has become, in the words of the New York Times, quote, the merch of the moment. While Jay-Z is bringing more people into the library, he also continues to bring younger generations into the arts.
The first beat that I ever rapped over was a Jay-Z beat. He gave me the template, and I just put in my words, and that was the beginning of it.
30-year-old rapper Coda the Friend grew up in Brooklyn listening to his brother's Jay-Z CDs.
It was like a real education. Like, I'm listening to the lyrics. I'm learning how to use my words. I'm learning how to say things without saying them, Like, it taught me poetry.
Young, free, and black with a whole lot of stamina.
Coda the Friend turned down record labels to stay independent. He keeps all the profit from the millions who stream his music each month. He also owns a fashion and entertainment brand.
Do you think that was possible, or was that even a path that you saw without Jay-Z?
I think Jay-Z really gave us the confidence, Like, it wasn't a big thing when he was coming up for artists, especially hip-hop artists, to be independent, be doing their own thing. Because he exists, we all exist.
Back at the library, Tanya Joyner, a Brooklyn native, echoed that sentiment and quoted another legendary local rapper, the late Biggie Smalls.
I think the words are Biggie, always. Who would think hip-hop would make it this far? That's definitely real, definitely real.
The exhibition has been extended until December 4th. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Christopher Booker in Brooklyn, New York.